There really is no denying here that the Star Wars franchise under Disney has really been a hit or miss scenario, especially with the sequel trilogy era of films, such as The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, and even the spin-off films out there. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the new Star Wars universe, in case you guys did not know, is really going to consist of new Star Wars movies, TV shows, whether it's going to be an animated or a live-action form. We've also got the books, the novels, the comics, and the video games all coming together to form this new expanded universe, this SWU, if you will, that's going to really attempt to match up against the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? So Disney's Bob Chapek and Bob Iger are working very hard together as a team in order to really bring Star Wars to its highest potential here. They really want to take advantage of Star Wars as much as they can. And even Bob Iger talked about this at the Rise of Skywalker premiere, that they are now finally just discovering exactly what they can really do with Star Wars and what it's really capable of. And it's kind of funny because it's like, just now you realize this, you couldn't realize this back in 2012 or maybe even 2015 at the latest, right? It's now in 2020 in which they realize that they have full-on potential for Star Wars and what they can really do with it. So, when we look at everything here, there is a better and brighter future for Star Wars since Kathleen Kennedy is only going to be involved with 2 Star Wars TV series, that of course, one of which is going to be a live-action one and an animated one. Now, with that being said, of course, with both Disney and Lucasfilm now finished with the Skywalker saga as far as the films go, they are now fully invested in the development of the new Star Wars universe that will introduce a brand new mythology to the Star Wars fans around the world. Now, Lucasfilm is currently hiring new creatives to come on board and handle the new Star Wars universe, and how they treat the Star Wars films and TV shows without Kathleen Kennedy's power over creative control. So, if you guys have been out of the loop, she only has control over 2 projects, just keep that in mind. However, one project that Kathleen Kennedy is in charge of is the LESLYE Headland Star Wars TV series that is said to involve actress Brie Larson. It's explained that behind the scenes, LESLYE Headland and Brie Larson are working closely with each other, and that Brie Larson will be able to come up with her own lines of dialogue for the new series and will have a hand in the direction of the new TV series. Let me just stop right here, is that when you actually have an actress on board being somewhat in charge of where the story is going, that to me just spells, a recipe for disaster. That's just my take on things, at least with Brie Larson. Now, it's explained that actress Brie Larson wants to restart Star Wars, or reset it, if you will, when it comes down to the philosophy of Star Wars and what it really means at heart, and that she has proposed this idea to writer LESLYE Headland. Brie Larson is actually said to want to change the philosophy of the Star Wars brand and what it stands for in the long run, and that she wants us to start with this show serving as the new normal of Star Wars. Brie wants to also essentially use this show as a vessel to make Star Wars as a brand that will take advantage of introducing identity politics, agendas, and real-world issues to its maximum, and then Headland also wants this to continue into other Star Wars projects out there. So, the thing about LESLYE Headland, alright, if you guys have not been aware about her involvement in Star Wars, is that basically her main motive to really hop on board of Star Wars is to essentially introduce all the identity politics that she can and all of the agendas that she can that Disney and Kathleen Kennedy initially wanted to do before they saw the box office results dipping for The Rise of Skywalker, not meeting up against The Last Jedis. So, Kathleen Kennedy, this is all rooted with Kennedy, of course. We can still connect it to Headland, of course, but at the end of the day, it's all Kathleen Kennedy. Let's look at who hired LESLYE Headland. It was Kathleen Kennedy. Who brought on Brie Larson? It was Kathleen Kennedy. Why? Because a couple of months ago, Kathleen Kennedy was actually considering of making Brie Larson as Ahsoka Tano before Rosario Dawson got the role, which I think Rosario Dawson is really going to be a perfect fit for Ahsoka. That's just my take on things, and that Brie Larson would have been a complete big mistake on Disney's part. So thankfully they departed from that idea and really are not using her as Ahsoka Tano. So the last piece I really just want to touch on here that I really do think is very important, that I think a lot of fans out there should really just be very grateful for is that a majority of the Star Wars projects that are in development right now are, of course, going to be created by George Lucas, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau. They're going to all have creative control over these new Star Wars TV shows, and that includes the books, the novels, the comics, the video games, the movies, and the TV shows out there. That's going to all make up this new expanded universe, alright? Only these two shows, this LESLYE show and the animated show, is what Kathleen Kennedy has control over. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.